Hati Tanda, Lake Eyre. European settlers called it the Dead Heart. Once, this was a lush inland sea fed by rivers. From above, the channels of ancient waterways are still visible. As Australia drifted toward the tropics, the climate warmed and the rivers dried. Now, all that remains is 3,700 square miles of salt crust and sand, burning as hot as 120 degrees in the summer. In a year, Lake Eyre might only receive 5 inches of rain. But every so often, the past returns. Weather and geography conspire, and together awaken a sleeping giant. When rain finally comes to Australia's deserts, it arrives as an explosion. Minor floods can strike every few years. A few times a century, things get biblical. When a storm of the decade hits, much of the water doesn't flow toward the sea. Instead, rain that falls over nearly 1/6 of the continent pours into ancient river channels, rushing inland towards the lowest elevation. Lake Eyre regains its title. Suddenly, it's the largest lake in Australia, and when it's full, about as salty as the ocean. The transformation sets off a chain reaction. Somehow, birds from hundreds of miles away can sense the change. Whether they can smell the water or are guided by some other force, no one knows. Corellas arrive by the thousands. Wedge-tailed eagles follow the promise of abundant prey. Australian pelicans from the coast seize the moment and launch a spontaneous festival of feasting and breeding. Strange as it may seem, there is suddenly plenty to eat. Hardyheads, perch, and other fish, flushed from upstream, have spawned and multiplied in a matter of days. The pelicans operate as a team, driving fish into shallow water, then scooping them up with the longest bill of any bird. They're not just eating for themselves. Pelicans breed whenever the time feels right. And already, the clock is ticking. Lake Eyre began evaporating as soon as it filled up. Over the next 2 years, the lake slowly vanishes. The raucous visitors move back to the coast. Silence descends upon the desert.